Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. People, this the intro.
Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
A Chicago Bears insider claims that the team may be done with quarterback Justin Fields and may be in search for a brand new quarterback next season. Before I go any further with today's episode of Keek on the Mic, I just want to first off apologize for me being missing in action since my live stream on Thursday of the Bears versus Panthers game. Obviously, it was a good feeling to win another game. Even though the Carolina Panthers are the worst team in football and I expected the Chicago Bears to win that football game, it was still nice to see a Chicago Bears win. But I do want to apologize for being missing the last couple of days. As most of you guys know, my wife and I just recently bought a house, and from Friday all the way to now, we have been moving in, trying to get settled in, and we are finally at a place where we're settled in and I can actually record a podcast for you guys right here on Keek on the Mic. So Bears fans, let's go ahead and talk about this statement that I read from Brad Biggs of the Chicago Tribune. We have talked about Brad Biggs a lot. He is a well-connected source within Halas Hall, and most of the time when he says something in regards to the Chicago Bears, since he is well-connected within the organization, most of the time it does come true. So he was going through his weekly mailbag where he answers questions. He just basically was talking about Montez Sweat, the future of Matt Eberflus, and then he kind of hinted at the future of the Chicago Bears in terms of their quarterback plans, and he dropped a major nugget in regards to quarterback Justin Fields. He said this: "I am confident the Bears will address the quarterback issue in the first round of the draft. Whether they get it right or not, we won't know for some time, but I completely agree it is very difficult to win consistently without top-tier QB play." So Bears fans, obviously this is a major nugget from Brad Biggs, and like I just mentioned earlier in this episode of Keek on the Mic, whenever Brad Biggs comes out and says something, most of the time he is absolutely correct. And you guys all know how I feel about Justin Fields. Justin Fields is my QB1. I'll support Justin Fields until Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears actually make the move and they come out themselves and say, you know what, we are done with Justin Fields and we are going to go in a different direction. But obviously this is a very powerful statement and something that we need to talk about on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. The situation surrounding Justin Fields, Bears fans, depends on what type of fan you are talking to. A lot of Bears fans say, you know what, this is way premature. Give Justin Fields the next 7 games to really prove himself as the franchise quarterback. And then there's other Bears fans that are basically done with Justin Fields and are ready to draft a new QB for the Chicago Bears. Usually the Bears fans that you talk to that are out on Justin Fields will tell you that he still hasn't found consistency as a passer since he arrived to the Chicago Bears in 2021. They'll say that he still holds on to the ball too long. They will tell you that he still takes way too many unnecessary sacks. They will also say that he fumbles the ball way too much and he has yet to play a complete season for the Chicago Bears. And Bears fans, everything that I just said about Justin Fields is absolutely true. And for me personally, I am a big Justin Fields fan, but I'll be the first one to say that Justin Fields does have flaws, but there is a lot of players and a lot of different quarterbacks that have flaws. But my argument to all of that is Justin Fields has yet to be in a perfect situation to succeed. And I understand that's never going to be perfect, but the question that I continue to ask, and I've said this before on the podcast, has Ryan Poles put Justin Fields in the best situation to succeed? And my answer is still no. So Bears fans, on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, I want to explain why the Chicago Bears should not draft another quarterback and keep building around Justin Fields. As of today, Bears fans, Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears currently hold the #1 overall pick and the #5 overall pick. So if things stay the same, the Chicago Bears will be in prime position to draft a brand new signal caller for this franchise. But I don't think that's the right move whatsoever. Even though I understand that Ryan Poles inherited Justin Fields and was not the one that drafted him, I think it would be in Ryan Poles' best interest to use those 2 picks to continue to build around quarterback Justin Fields. And personally, I understand this could be a little bit risky because I do understand that Justin Fields does have his flaws, but I think Justin Fields has shown enough flashes to continue to build around him and personally just give him a new offensive coordinator that can actually scheme to Justin Fields' strengths 24/7. So what I would do if I was in Ryan Poles' shoes, I would take that #1 overall pick if that pick stands until the end of the season. I would take that #1 overall pick and trade down not too far, but far enough in order to regain some draft capital, especially that 2nd round pick that we lost by trading for Montez Sweat, and maybe even hopefully gain a 1st round pick in next year's draft to continue stacking up these 1st round picks to really build around Justin Fields and to really build the Chicago Bears roster. Then if you trade down to a point where you could still get Marvin Harrison Jr., I would run to the podium and draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Can you imagine having Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore, re-signing Darnell Mooney, having Tyler Scott? To me, that is a legit wide receiver group for Justin Fields, and it gives him enough weapons to get the job done. Then with the number 5 overall pick, if that pick does stand at the end of the season, I would run to the podium again and take Olu Fashanu, the left tackle out of Penn State. I do love Braxton Jones, but I think Olu Fashanu would be a major upgrade for the Chicago Bears offensive line. I think Ryan Poles has done a pretty good job by getting Darnell Wright the right tackle. We have Tevin Jenkins. If he can stay healthy, that's going to be a really good option at the right guard or left guard. I think once Nate Davis comes back, he will also be a really good option for the Chicago Bears offensive line. But I still think we are missing consistent play at the left tackle position. And I'm not trying to talk bad about Braxton Jones, but I think he has a certain ceiling. And I think Olu Fashanu would be a major upgrade at the left tackle position. And personally, we need to try our best to continue to keep Justin Fields upright and continue to build the trenches. By adding Marvin Harrison Jr. and Olu Fashanu, you give the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields even more firepower to get the job done next season. Along with adding those generational talents to the Chicago Bears roster, Ryan Poles, and let's say you go ahead and keep head coach Matt Eberflus, they need to do their best to find Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears offense a real offensive coordinator. And to me, I think the perfect fit would be offensive coordinator Greg Roman. Obviously, you saw what Greg Roman did with the Baltimore Ravens and what he did with Lamar Jackson. I feel like Greg Roman will be the perfect person to be able to play the Justin Fields strengths 24/7 and to actually see adjustments on the offensive side of the football, because we all understand that Luke Getsy really struggles to make adjustments and he does not play to his player strengths on the Chicago Bears offense. Personally, Bears fans, if Ryan Poles did all that and added all that talent and got a new offensive coordinator, I truly feel like that would be enough to take Justin Fields to the next level. And I do understand that Justin Fields haters say, you know what, Justin Fields, he's done. He's done in the NFL, and that's your personal opinion. But I think Justin Fields has shown enough flashes for Ryan Poles to stick with Justin Fields long term. And besides, if Ryan Poles goes out with the number 1 overall pick and drafts Drake May or drafts Caleb Williams, you have to understand that that would make the rebuild take longer. For example, if you take Drake May or Caleb Williams, you have to expect those guys to take 2 years to develop into the quarterback that you want. Not all rookie quarterbacks are going to jump right in and be like a CJ Stroud and how he's playing for the Houston Texans. And that's why I'm really hesitant for the Chicago Bears to draft a quarterback in the first round, because we are trying to finish our rebuild. We don't want to go backwards. We want to continue to go forward. And I think we want to continue to go forward. Our best option, or Ryan Poles' best option, is to keep Justin Fields and draft a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr., draft a guy like Olu Fashanu, and get a new offensive coordinator to run the Chicago Bears offense. Overall, Bears fans, this will only happen if Justin Fields comes back and plays well. And I know we want to see more wins, but the schedule is going to be tough when Justin Fields comes back. These last 7 games are going to be really hard for the Chicago Bears. And one of the big reasons why I think we're going to be struggling in these games, because I think we're also going to be out-coached in these games as well. But if Justin Fields can come back and play consistent football and not turn over the football and start making better decisions all around, I think Justin Fields should definitely be in consideration to stay long-term for the Chicago Bears. When you look at the last 7 games for the Chicago Bears, they're not easy whatsoever. This Sunday, we travel to the Detroit Lions, which they're playing really good football. Then we travel on Monday Night Football to take on the Minnesota Vikings, and Josh Dobbs has taken that Minnesota Vikings team to a next level. They are winners of 5 straight. Then we'll have a bye week in week 13. Then we play the Lions again at Soldier Field. Then we go to Cleveland and play that very good Cleveland Browns defense. Then we play the Cardinals, and that's also going to be a tough matchup with Kyler Murray back. Then we play the Atlanta Falcons, which they have been a very surprising team in the NFC this season. And then we end the season at Green Bay, which it's a winnable game, but we all know how that always turns out when the Chicago Bears play Green Bay. So Bears fans, when I look at the schedule, if Justin Fields can come out in these last 7 games, right, and play really good football, despite the wins and the losses, because these are all very tough games, you have to understand that winning is not all on one man. It's going to take a team effort. But when you have guys like Deontay Foreman playing well, you get Khalil Herbert back. You have the offensive line starting to play well and get more healthy. Justin Fields has the opportunity to come back and play well. So if that's the case, if he comes back and plays well, I think Ryan Poles can go with the plan that I just listed off on today's episode of Geek on the Mic. And I think that would be a much better option than drafting a quarterback in the first round. So overall, Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. If Justin Fields comes back these last 7 games and plays really good football, would you keep Justin Fields around for next season and continue to build around him? Or will you go with what Brad Biggs had to say and draft a quarterback in round 1 of the 2024 NFL draft? Let me know down below in the comment section. But before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan you know. But other than that, back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys. And as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.